Frost moves rapidly across the wet leaf litter, encasing this wood frog until it is completely motionless and stiff. For almost every biological organism on Earth, a deep freeze is a death sentence, dictated by the simple mechanics of water. As temperatures drop below zero, the water inside a living cell begins to crystallize. These ice crystals expand, acting like microscopic blades that physically rupture cell membranes and pull essential moisture out of the surrounding tissues. Once these physical structures are shattered, the damage is irreversible. The organism cannot be revived. Yet the frog buried in this frozen forest floor has not succumbed to the ice. It is utilizing specialized evolutionary adaptations to endure the sub-zero environment. These organisms survive by controlling exactly where ice forms, flooding their tissues with protective chemicals to simply press pause on their biology. To survive the winters of the Alaskan subarctic, the wood frog prepares its body for the freeze weeks in advance. It relies on a system of cryoprotectants. Before the ice arrives, the frog loads its tissues with high concentrations of urea, followed by a massive spike in glucose the moment freezing begins. During freezing, the frog's liver converts stored energy into protective chemicals. On this chart, the sharp decline in liver glycogen at -8 and -16 degrees Celsius tracks the exact volume of energy mobilized to protect the body. This chemical mixture reduces internal ice formation and stabilizes cell membranes, preventing the microscopic tearing that usually follows freezing. The wood frog survives the darkest months of the year by saturating its internal systems with this concentrated chemical defense. On this rocky Antarctic shoreline, an entirely different environment presents a series of intersecting physical threats. The Antarctic midge, the continent's only true native insect, must withstand freezing temperatures, high UV radiation, and total desiccation. The midge larvae utilize cross-tolerance. By severely dehydrating themselves and shedding up to 70% of their internal moisture, they remove the water required to form lethal ice spikes. Across the globe on the Arctic tundra, another species survives by strictly manipulating its exposure to time and temperature. The Arctic woolly bear caterpillar lives for many years, yet it spends roughly 90% of that life frozen solid inside a silk hibernaculum. During the brief summer window, these caterpillars warm themselves by basking on rocks, rapidly feeding before the environment freezes them solid again. Most of their life is spent in this dormancy until it thaws for a few weeks each June. These insects rely on extreme physical water extraction and behavioral pacing to outlast climates where active biology is impossible for most of the year. The limits of cold survival stretch far beyond seasonal cycles. In the Siberian permafrost, organisms have remained suspended for 24,000 years. This is a Bdelloid rotifer. Researchers successfully recovered and revived this microscopic animal from a core of permafrost radiocarbon dated to the late Pleistocene. This is cryptobiosis, a state of arrested metabolism where all internal biological processes come to a complete halt. The microscopic tardigrade utilizes a similar strategy. When confronted with extreme stress, it dehydrates and curls into a dormant, protective state known as a ton. These microscopic animals do not come back from the dead when they thaw. They are resuming their life from a deeply paused biological state. This level of preservation is possible only due to their microscopic size, specialized protective sugars, and a lack of complex organs. These physical constraints mean that human cryonics remains entirely theoretical. On a microscopic scale, the boundaries of biological time can be pushed across millennia without destroying the organism. These mechanisms allow life to span vast timelines, from a single Alaskan winter to 24,000 years locked beneath the Siberian ice. These organisms demonstrate that the boundaries of biology are more flexible than the binary of being active or dead. As the environment warms, the wood frog begins to thaw from the inside out. A rhythmic flutter in its throat signals its restored heartbeat. The same cascade of reanimation occurs across these species. The woolly bear caterpillar moves across a warmed rock, and the tardigrade uncurls inside a drop of water. For these specific organisms, the cold functions as a biological pause button, arresting their metabolism until the environment provides enough warmth to resume.